Thank you, friends, for joining me for a gentle yoga practice today. It is an honor and a privilege to guide you in your practice. And I just feel very fortunate and very blessed to be able to teach in this sort of format that is definitely not traditional, but it works for when we're traveling, maybe when we're not able to get into the studio, etc. A great way to still be able to incorporate some yoga into your day. So depending on where you find yourself, maybe you're fortunate enough to be able to do a practice outdoors, right? Particularly when it starts to get warmer outside in the summertime or even really hot. We might have the opportunity to really detox even more by doing a practice outdoors. If you're indoors, again, making sure that your environment is as comfortable as you can make it for yourself. Being creative with props and whatever you might have in your home or wherever you find yourself. If you're missing props that you need, either modify the posture that you're doing and don't get yourself into trouble by pushing yourself into a posture that you normally would need a prop for and you don't have one. So modify or change or skip the posture if that's what's best for your body. We'll take a minute seated to just settle in, to relax and let go. And let's do this first. Let's take 3 nice big breaths together. We'll do that big in through the nose and open the mouth and let it all out. So take a moment to adjust your seat, feeling as comfortable as you can. Lift your heart and drop the shoulders. Just notice your natural breathing for 3 rounds. The inhale and the exhale, just the body breathing itself. You're not thinking about it, just noticing. And then if you would, a nice big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale. Inhale through the nose. Again, inhale. Close the eyes. Lift your heart. Drop your shoulders. Soften any of the muscles and the expression of your face that you can. That means maybe the forehead, the eyelids, the cheeks, and the lower jaw. Let the tongue sit in the bottom of the mouth, resting softly as the teeth, the top and the bottom jaw are slightly separated. Begin to intentionally breathe deeper, a good full yogic breath. And that means expanding through the belly, the rib cage, and the upper part of the chest, expanding and contracting every time you breathe. Let as you find that rhythm to your breath, that smooth sort of gliding in and gliding out nature of your breath, let yourself settle into the wave of that. Asking thinking mind to focus on the quality, the length, and the integrity of your breath. And therefore avoiding the need to conjure up thoughts and move into other thoughts other than breathing, just single point of focus on breath. Now let that rhythmic breath, that smooth wave of in and out and up and down, begin to let the physical body soften, sort of melting into the space behind you. Hips opening, sit bones settling, heart rising. Maybe even beginning to bring that soft expression on the face into a smile. If you'd like to join me, we'll take Anjali Mudra for a moment. That's that prayer position, resting the thumbs against the heart center. Lifting a little taller, and maybe as you exhale, a gentle lowering of the chin, gazing towards the floor beneath you. Think of something that you are grateful for today. Every day and every moment, we can find and target one thing that we are grateful for. And when you find that thing that you're grateful for today, repeat it 3 times in your mind. And let that gratitude wash over, fill up your heart. And let that be that feeling, that sensation you get when you think of this thing that you're grateful for. Let that sensation that you get from that gratitude wash over every part of you and carry you through your practice. If you'd like to join me, I'll chant the sound of Om to open our time together. Big inhale through the nose. As you exhale, maybe a gentle bow down. Take an inhale and rise up. Exhale, release the hands, open the eyes if they were closed. Maybe resting the palms face down on your lap, sort of grounding your energy. Or if you're feeling sluggish and slow today, turn the palms face up. This is a gesture of receiving, of surrender, of reaching up from outside of yourself for the universal or collective energy from the divine. Lift and lengthen your heart and your head, and as you exhale, lower your chin to your chest. Pause there for just a moment and sort of let that length come from the base of the skull through the cervical spine and spread out up underneath your shoulder blades. Those of you that know and understand bandhas, we're lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor. We're drawing back at the low part of the belly. We call that Uddiyana Bandha. And we're containing the energy of our breath here. Letting the breath circulate through the center of the body, finding the chakras, the energy centers here. And adding Ujjayi breath, that breath with sound, the word meaning victorious breath, adding a little bit more detoxification to your practice, heating the air as it enters the body, creating that internal fire to then cleanse, clean, and purify what is on the inside. When you're ready, if you would, take the chin over to the left shoulder, continue inhaling, lifting chin to sky. As you exhale, chin to the right shoulder, across the collarbone and back to the sternum. So you're each continuing with the length of your inhale and exhale. Acknowledging any sore spot in the neck, shoulders, etc., maybe the jawline, and just sort of rock back and forth through those achy spots. Listening to the creaks and the cracks and the pops as the joints get lubricated and the body is told to pay attention. And when you're ready, make sure you go the opposite direction. The inhale sort of lifting and lengthening. The exhale, bringing the head and neck down and contraction. When your chin returns to your chest, pause there for a moment. As you inhale, take your chin parallel to the floor. As you exhale, take a gaze over your left shoulder. Pause there for just a moment, noticing if there's any discomfort in the cervical spine and the neck at all, and if there is, ease out of this twist just a little bit. From here, if it feels okay, take an inhale, lift the chin to the sky, look up, even stretch the eyes wide open. As you exhale, lower the chin to the shoulder and look to the floor to your left. 2 more times, inhale, lift up and look up. Exhale, drop the chin and lower the eyes. 1 more time, inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, lower chin, lower the gaze. Inhale, come parallel to the floor and gaze forward. Exhale. Stopping there to take a moment to drop those shoulders once again, engaging Uddiyana Bandha, the low belly drawing up, heart energy rising, head rising. Inhale, rise up tall. Exhale, gaze over your right shoulder. And again, we're going to pause for just a moment because pain in that cervical twist is not okay. So you might have to soften the twist if that becomes too uncomfortable. And again, if it feels reasonable, a sort of massage for the left side neck, jawline, lymph nodes. We'll inhale, lift up, look up, and then by opening the eyes wide, we're also stretching the muscles in and around the eyes. As you exhale, lower your chin towards the shoulder and gaze to the floor. 2 more times, inhale, lift up and look up. Exhale, lower chin, drop the gaze. Inhale, lift up and look up. Exhale, lower chin and lower the eyes. Inhale, come parallel to the floor and come back to center and exhale. Lift up, get nice and tall. Exhale, drop left ear to left shoulder. Adding to this, if it feels okay, I'm going to take my left hand to my right temple. I don't want energetically to pull down towards the ground, but I want to peel up and away towards the opposite corner of the room. So I'm extending the neck just a bit more. I might even extend my right fingertips away, really engaging the muscles in the top of the shoulder to pull down and away. So lots of space in the collarbone across the point of the shoulder and all the way out through the fingertips. Let's hold here for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Releasing both hands. Inhale, come back to center and exhale. How we doing on breathing? Make sure we're using at least full yogic breath, if not ujjayi breath. Lift and lengthen, drop the shoulders. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. And again, I'm going to take, if it feels okay in your neck, right fingertips to the left temple. And again, I'm not pulling my head towards the floor, but I'm stretching up and away. So again, you might just feel that slight tug on the skin across the temple, and again, maybe reaching the left fingertips away. You should feel that through those scalenes, the muscles down the side of the neck, the point of the shoulder, and all the way, maybe through the biceps into the fingertips. And let's hold here for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Releasing both hands as you inhale and exhale, come to center. Letting the hands rest on the thighs, we'll take shoulder rolls. So there's 4 points here. The shoulders coming forward, up, back, and down. So take a minute to find all 4 of those positions and noticing when it becomes uncomfortable, because it will sometimes. And make sure you go the opposite direction. So back, up, forward, and down. Find all 4 points in those shoulder rolls. Perfect. Pausing in the center, relaxing the arms. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, reach the arms away. If at this point your legs are getting uncomfortable, switch maybe the cross of your legs or straighten the legs out. Change your seated position if you need to. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach away. Again, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, stop at T position. Take cactus arms, strong, active arms. Spread your fingers and slightly lean forward to hold. 1. Don't let those elbows come forward. Leave them in line with your shoulders so you got lots of space across the front of the body. 4. And 5. Take an inhale, come back straight up to the sky. Take your right hand, if you would, to your left thigh. Left fingertips right behind your sit bones, nice and close. Press and lift up, get tall, squeeze the belly back. Turn towards your left side. If that's enough, stay there. If you can, look all the way over the left shoulder. Beautiful, tall spiral of energy through the center of the body. Breathing deeply as we squeeze the belly and use our full yogic breath. A great massage for all the organs. Great big pranayama, good for the lungs. 3, 4, and 5. Take an inhale, look forward. Exhale, releasing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, T position, strong cactus arms, lean slightly forward and hold. Using your bandhas, right? The pelvic floor is lifting, the low belly is drawing back. So you've got a great stable core. You're holding here, smiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come straight up. Exhale, left hand to the right thigh. Right fingertips right next to the sit bones, tailbone. Press and lift up. Look to your right side. If it feels okay, look all the way over your shoulder. Again, lifting up through the entire center of the body. Holding here. 1, 2, breathe deeply. 3, 4, and 5. Take an inhale, look forward, and exhale, releasing. Hands to the thighs for seated cat-cow. Press in, lift up. So for cow pose, you're going to arch your back. So you're scooping your tailbone behind you. Broad shoulders, or broad chest, I should say, squeezing the shoulders as you continue to inhale, lift the chin to the sky. Exhaling into mad cat. So we're scooping the belly back. Tailbone now draws forward. Points of the shoulders to the center of the chest and tuck the chin. So move through those two, inhaling to come up and exhaling to come back as it feels good to you. Maybe you need to sit with one of them for a minute and just kind of move around. That's cool. Use your breath as your guide. Use your body as your sort of instructions, as your body will tell you what it needs. Perfect. Let's come back to a neutral position. We're going to make those funky circles. And I know we look a little silly, but it's good for your central nervous system and great for every aspect of the torso. So we're going to start way down low in the pelvis, and I'm going to inhale and shift my pelvis forward. I'm going to exhale and scoot my pelvis back. So as I'm inhaling this time, I'm going to start to incorporate my sideways. And exhale, come back, really kind of squeezing through the side waist and the belly muscles. How about my chest, my ribs? Can I start to kind of get funky in there? Shoulders getting in there. Neck, right? Really kind of moving around circles. And when you're ready, make sure you go the opposite direction. Breathing through it, right? So don't hold your breath, but really let the breath bring you round and round. Take an inhale and rise all the way back up. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and get those legs straightened out, and we'll move our props out from underneath us. I can move my cute little princess pillow. Let's start by straightening our legs out nice and long, because that's probably going to feel good if you've been sitting in some sort of lotus or half lotus cross-legged pose. Stretch out, move through your ankles and your feet for just a moment, the knees bending and straightening. Then we'll stop at the center, internally rotating our femur bones, squeezing the quadriceps and flexing our feet back. So we're going to take Dandasana, or staff pose. 2 strong flat hands, right, fingers wide, right next to the sip or the hip bone. So not forward on the mat, but nice, good alignment. Pressing down into the earth, inhale, rise up. And then at the last part of this posture is to tuck the chin to the chest. So breathe really deeply here. This is a posture, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on, but every part of the body is active and strong, from the arms and shoulders, the belly, the chest, the legs, the feet, everything. Breathe deeply here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take an inhale, lift the chin, roll, exhale, forward fold over the low belly. So again, maybe you're reaching your shins, maybe you can get your ankles, maybe you can get your big toes, all is good. So watch that tendency again for the shoulders to come up around the ears and the back to get round. Stop wherever you're at, inhale, lift, pull shoulders away, and then fold forward. Lots more space here. Breathe deeply. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift halfway. So let's leave your right hand on your left leg. We're going to take a nice little twist here, whether you've got your foot, your shin, your ankle, doesn't matter. Press in, lift up, take a nice twist. So left hand's going to come behind, 2 long straight legs. Just take a nice upward twist, looking towards your left side. Hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take an inhale, look forward towards your feet, and exhale, release. Inhale, get long in the center again. Left hand to the outside of your right leg. Again, feet are still strong, quads, everything's flexed and strong. Inhale, lift up, Right arm rises and then reaches behind, exhaling, looking over your right shoulder or just simply to your right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look forward. Exhaling to release. Take a slight bend in the knees. Inhale, lift the belly up and over the thighs, the chest towards the knees. Give your knees a great big hug. Whether you turn the palms face up or palms face down into the earth is going to change how you feel it in your shoulders, so your choice. And finally, when you're ready, tuck the chin into the chest. Deeply rounded back there. Everything stretching from the tailbone through the crown of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, rise up, and slowly help yourself as you exhale to release. Beautiful. Let's take a little baby back bend here. So straightening out the legs but pointing the toes. Take your hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your feet, 6, 8 inches or so behind your back. Press into 2 straight arms, opening the chest. You might just stay right there and see where your back bend takes you. You could go further by dropping the head. You could go further by lifting the hips and dropping the head. So your choice where you want to stay today. Maybe normally you lift all the way up, but today you just want to stay right here on the floor. That's good. A nice arch in the back and an open throat if it's accessible. Holding here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, chin to chest, and exhale, releasing. Beautiful. Let's take sort of a little a mermaid twist, a brief version of that. So I want you to bend your knees to the right side and sit on your right hip. Hopefully that makes sense. You're sitting on your right hip, your knees are bent along your side. And so we're just gonna leave the legs so they're separated just a little bit. The knees and the ankles are on the floor. I'm gonna press it, I'm gonna lift up, and I'm gonna take a turn towards the right side. Pressing into that right hand to get tall as I lift up and look up. So now I've got some internal rotation here of that left hip, everything supported by the earth, and I'm breathing deeply. 1, 2, lots of twisting going on today, so lots of detoxing, right? 3, 4, and 5. Good. Take an inhale, look forward, and exhale. For you, if it's easier to just switch and turn yourself to sitting on your left hip, great. I'm going to turn the other way so you're not looking at my back. So again, the feet should just sort of be in this sort of bent situation where the knee and the feet and the ankles are on the floor. So with legs and hips and low body supported, I am going to take that spiral, that lift, 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 looking towards the left shoulder, breathing here for 1. Again, finding some stretch on the outer edge of that right hip, maybe the IT band, the lower back. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, releasing. Let's take Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. So the soles of the feet are going to come together, and if you want a little bit softer version, we are going to take 2, or this posture 2 times. So you may want to start off a little softer and go a little deeper. That's totally up to you. Butterfly, we would leave the feet out a little further. If we want to start off with Baddha Konasana, we'll draw the feet in as close as we can. So your choice. I'm going to start off in butterfly and then take Baddha Konasana for my second round. But either way, I want to make sure before I fold forward that I'm lifting and lengthening my upper body. And then I'll just exhale and reach my heart towards my feet as far as it'll go. It's never about how far you go. It's about finding that edge where you're challenging yourself a little bit, but able to breathe and able to stay in a positive mindset. So encouraging the femur bones open, lots of length in the lower back, lots of length in the upper part of the chest. Shoulders pulling away from the ears. And let's hold 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, if you're going deeper, just draw the feet in closer. If you took Baddha Konasana on that first round, for your second, you might instead take version B, which is with a rounded back. So that's going to be your choice, flat back or round back. For those of you that took butterfly, let's just take that same flat back here with the legs a little closer. Again, we're just simply tucking the elbows in and leading with the heart forward. Keep the neck nice and long with your flat back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take an inhale, rise up. Exhale, release, and help those legs together. Perfect. Go ahead and tuck and cross your feet. Let's come to our hands and knees. So 2 strong flat hands underneath the shoulders. Take the time to get the knees hip distance apart, directly underneath the hips, so nice straight line with the legs. And again, the same thing with the arms, just like the legs of a table, what we call this tabletop. And my back's not going to be sloppy, but I'm going to engage my belly and flatten my back, engage my shoulders here. Neutral position, moving through cat and cow. So for cow pose, you're inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the hips, press in, squeeze the shoulders, and finally lift the chin to the sky. For mad cat, exhale, tailbone draws under, low belly draws back, spread the shoulder blades, and finally tuck the chin to the chest. So move through your versions of cat and cow, inhaling and exhaling. And again, just like we did when we were seated, if one of them feels good, just sort of sit with it and move around a little bit, right? Wiggle through it. Beautiful. Once you've done a few rounds of those, let's meet back at a neutral spine. I'm going to start with the right leg here. Hopefully you've got some space to do this where you are. Let's inhale, straighten the right leg out. If not, modify as best you can. Exhale over to the left side. Curl your toes under. Press in, straighten that right leg, and see if you can look back towards your right heel. So a really nice stretch for the entire right side waist. Lots of strength in the arm, the upper body, and let's hold here for 1, 2, 3, breathe deeply, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale there. Let's take ourselves into a nice low lunge. So whatever it takes to get this right foot to the front of the mat. And so we're going to plant the right foot firmly. And I'm going to try to keep my knee, I'll stand up so you can see a little better, my knee in line with my ankle or the midfoot. Now, if I take myself into this low lunge and I'm unable to reach the floor, I'm going to use a prop, pillow, blanket, whatever you've got, and lift the floor up to be able to sit into this lunge. Again, feeling this really nice deep stretch here, so I might sit even further down into that lunging posture. And let's hold here several breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you're in this position, go ahead and leave your right hand here. Press into your right hand and your right foot and lift the left arm up towards the sky and hold. 1, either looking towards this left hand or looking to the floor. 2, 3, 4, press into a twist, and 5. Exhale, left hand returns. As you inhale, press your hips back towards your left foot. Pop those right toes off the floor. Get a nice stretch in the back of this right hamstring. And hold here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take an inhale, shift your weight forward. Plant those 2 strong hands so that you can bring the right leg back. Beautiful. Come all the way down onto your belly. Take a moment and forward rest. So that means stacking the hands, resting the forehead.
I'm gonna leave my head up so you can hear me speaking. Let the tops of your feet come to the floor, maybe rock around a little bit on your hips to relax the hips and the back. Breathe deeply, still full yogic breathing into the back of the rib cage, the lower back, softening the glutes, the buttocks, softening the quadriceps, the front of the thighs, the hamstrings, the back of the thighs, and even again, softening the expression on your face. Take a couple of more nice deep breaths there. I'm going to meet you back in hands and knees, but turning around on my mat. You do not need to turn around on your mat, just keeping this visually more appealing for you. So go ahead and take your time to come back to your hands and knees. Find your good foundation, right? Because how I start off my postures really matters. The integrity, the alignment, all that stuff really matters. So again, no sloppy backs, draw the navel in, flatten the back, strong hands. So the same series on the other side. Inhale, straighten the left leg out behind you. Over to the right side, curl your toes under, press in, straighten the leg. Push into your hands and look back towards the left heel. Left side waist stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, left knee to center. Take a moment there to do what you need to do to get yourself into a low lunge. Let's not be in a hurry here. So again, alignment and setting yourself up really matters. Again, if you can leave your hands on the floor and sit down into that lunge, into the front of the right hip, great. If you need to bring the earth up to meet you, add your props, right? Holding wherever you've chosen to be today. 1. Watch those shoulders. If they're up in the ears, pull the shoulders back. 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you inhale, press into your left hand, reach the right arm upwards towards the sky, and breathe across the front body. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, right hand comes down. Push the hips back, right toes off the floor. Nice stretch all the way across the back of the left leg. Holding here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, shift your weight forward, plant your 2 strong hands. Take the left leg back. Either cat-cows here, or you might choose to curl your toes under and take yourself into a downward facing dog. Stretching out the full back side of the body, contracting the front side, maybe some tippy toes. Again, if this feels like it's too much, maybe you just stay on hands and knees. Perfect. Stretching the body out, and then we will all meet at hands and knees. Take the toes together. Let the knees come out wide for Balasana or Child's Pose. Take a minute to really sort of settle down into the creases of the hips. As you exhale, again, if your forehead doesn't touch the earth, bring something underneath to make that connection. And then when you're laying down, tiptoe your fingers toward the front of your mat, and then exhale, pull back through the inner armpits and the shoulders to find yourself in a very strong and active child's pose. Again, I'm going to stay upright and seated so you can hear my voice. But settle in here. Breathe through the back of the rib cage. Breathe into the kidneys, the lumbar spine, and the sacrum. Slow the breath down. Long inhales, long exhales. Noisy breath if you've got it. Beautiful. When you're ready, come back to your hands and knees. Tuck and cross your feet. We'll come back through to seated for a moment. Once you're in seated, make sure you've got a prop nearby for us to be able to do an inversion if you want to use that for our legs up. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get down onto our backs and see where we can sort of let the earth, the floor beneath us, really kind of be our support, and we can find a way to take some of those postures in sort of a different style or format. But stop here, good foundation, right? So that means I'm going to adjust my pelvis, my lower back, my shoulders, the back of my head and my neck, and breathe. Again, full yogic breath through the belly, the ribs, and the chest, expanding and contracting. Let your shoulders relax, arms along the side for just a moment. Perfect. If you would cross your right leg over your left, I would say like a guy sits in a chair so the ankle is above the knee. So taking sort of that reclined version of a pigeon pose to really work on the back of the piriformis muscle, and this side it would be on the right side. So you squeeze the belly and lift your head and chest off the floor. Right hand goes between the thighs. You're either grabbing the back of the left thigh or the shin, but I want you to be able to exhale and lay the head and shoulders down. That takes all this tension off the upper body and leaves it isolated to the lower part of the body. And in this left leg, particularly if you've got your thigh, we might tend to be stressed in that lower left leg. Relax the leg. Let this be all about the back of your right hip. With the left leg just sort of hanging there, let's move through the foot and the ankle. We don't pay enough attention to our feet and support the sort of flexibility that could benefit us in our feet and toes. So move through, take advantage of that, right? So from here, you may stay right here because this feels particularly yummy or maybe a little bit challenging. But you could also add this, turn this into a hamstring stretch, which would be straightening the left leg and reaching up and over for the back of the left calf. But again, it would be nice for you to be able to release the head and chest to the floor. And so whichever version you've chosen to be in, let's stay here. I'm turning my head sideways so that you can hear me better. I would much rather see you keep good spinal alignment and gaze towards your left toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, releasing the left foot, releasing the right foot. Hug the knees into the chest. Nice, deeply rounded back. First, exhale, head to the ground. Toes together, knees out wide, just really opening up those hips. Knees come back to center, circles on the ceiling with your knees, moving to the lower back and the hips. Perfect, stop at center. Take an inhale, straighten those two legs up towards the sky. Get a hold of the back of your left leg, just like we did before. Exhale, drop the right foot so that it's just slightly off the ground. Look to your right toes and hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, hug the knees, feet to floor. Take a minute. Let's readjust our foundation. So again, that's the pelvis, feels good. The arch in the back feels good. My shoulders are evenly placed and my neck is long. Let's start that series on the second side. So I'm crossing the left ankle over the knee, like a guy would sit in a chair. My left hand is going between the thighs. Again, I'm either going to get a back of the right thigh or the shin. I'm going to exhale and let the head rest on the floor. Breathe here. Deep into this piriformis muscle, this attachment underneath the glutes. For many of us, that's a sore spot. And so just sit here and make sure that you focus on that letting go, that breathing deep. And again, since this right ankle is just sort of sitting here, let's go ahead and move circles, both directions. Relax and point and squeeze your toes and spread them wide. Perfect. And again, you may choose to stay right here. You may choose to add the hamstring on the right leg. So you would straighten the right leg up, reach up and over. But again, it would be nice to be able to exhale and rest the head, the neck, and the shoulders so that again, the focus is on the lower part of the body. Whichever version you've chosen to be in, let's hold 1, 2, breathe deeply with sound if you can, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, releasing the right foot, hugging both knees into the chest. Nice round back at first. Exhale, open up. Happy baby this time. Soles of the feet come up. Reach for the outer edges. Exhale. Head and shoulders back to the ground. Knees drawing outside the rib cage. Maybe a shift side to side. Oh, nice massage for the back. Perfect. Knees together, feet together, 2 straight legs up to the sky. We're gonna this time hold on to the back of the right leg and exhale left foot. So squeeze the belly, lift the head and chest off the floor. Left foot slightly off the floor. You're looking towards your left toes. Your shoulders are strong. Pull down the back and you're holding here. Breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, draw the legs to the center. Exhale. Inhale, 2 straight legs up. Leave your chest off the floor. Walk yourself up the legs. So this is the same thing we did seated, right? You're seated forward fold. Now it's a reclined forward fold. Breathing here. 1, 2, strong belly. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, keep the knees and feet together, head to the floor. Baddha Konasana or butterfly, just like we did before. Maybe hang on to the feet for just a minute, open up those knees. And when you're ready, release the soles of the feet, or the feet are together, release the edges of the feet to the floor. Let the hips open up and relax. Again, I'm turning my head sideways for the benefit of speaking to you, but please leave the back of the head on the floor, gazes towards the sky. Make sure the arch in your back feels good here. We might just start with the arms along the side to soften through the chest and the shoulders. And then when you're ready, take an inhale, lift the arms to the sky, interlock your thumbs together. And as you exhale, the backs of the hands drop to the floor over your head, maybe a slight bend in the elbows. Maybe you'd like to reach a little further. Breathe into the entire front body. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take an inhale, arms up to sky. Exhale along your side. Reach down and help those legs back together, soles of the feet on the floor, knees up. Let your feet be about hip distance apart, and we'll take windshield wipers here. So exhale, drop the knees to the left. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, knees drop to the right. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale on the twist. Inhale to come to center. Perfect. Inhale, come back to center and exhale. Once again, adjust the hips and the pelvis, the lower back, the shoulders. And we'll finish with a spinal twist today. So crossing the right leg all the way over the left, so like a girl would sit in a chair. If that version doesn't feel good to you, you could also leave the left leg straight and bend the right. You could also take both knees up and take a twist together this way, your choice. If you're taking this version, I would take my arms out into position to give yourself some balance, some grounding. Otherwise, if you're coming with me, right leg crossed over, leave the right arm along your side, take the left hand and exhale, guiding the knees to the floor in a twist. So we're encouraging length through this femur bone, a twist in the belly and the back. Your right shoulder might begin to rise, but just think and breathe across the front of the chest. Beautiful. Holding and breathing here. If you're resting pretty easily on the ground with the legs, you could take the right arm up to the sky. Turn your palm up and exhale, dropping the back of the hands to the floor. That's an effort to really roll that shoulder blade down your back before you open up. Breathe wherever you are. Let's do 5 more breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If your arm is out to the side, bring it in as well. Inhale, knees to sky, arm in. Exhale, unwind. Take a moment here to stretch from your fingertips to your tippy toes. Big long inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale. One more time, inhale, stretch, fingertips to tippy toes. Open the mouth and exhale. Beautiful. Arms come down along the side, feet back to the floor. Again, take a moment to adjust the hips, adjust the shoulders, adjust the back of the head. That good alignment is so important in every posture we take. So we'll cross left over right if you did the version that I did. Otherwise, again, your own version of spinal twist is just fine. Leaving the left hand along the side, right hand. And again, I use the words guide or encourage, not shove or push, right? So guide the knees as you exhale, taking yourself into the twist. As every exhale, you're twisting a little deeper. Every inhale, you're getting longer in your spine. Again, you might choose to just leave the left arm along the side. If we're taking the chest stretch as well, you'll lift the left arm up, palm faces the sky. So what we're trying to do is roll that shoulder blade down the back so we keep some space in the neck. And hold there, breathing in your twist wherever you've chosen to be. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Take your time. Inhale, arm in, legs back to center. Exhaling there. Anything that feels good to you right now to counter pose your spinal twist. And so that might be hugging your knees into your chest. It might be rolling around on your back. It might be a long stretch. Maybe you need to stand up and take a forward fold or a downward dog. Anything that you need to do to prepare for Shavasana. I was going to add an inversion today, which I did not. So if you want to take Shavasana instead of laying down on your back, legs up the wall for a minute or two, maybe that would be a great way to finish your practice today. And if you don't have wall space, maybe using a couch or a chair, a bed, that's something that's close by. So prepare for a few moments of rest because the rest is so important. And I know you're not in a studio sitting and in a place where you would feel awkward getting up and walking away. Don't take that privilege away from yourself in your home practice. Make sure you take the time to rest. It's very important. It's the part of your practice where everything sort of gets wrapped up and settles into your bones, into your mind, into your heart. So take the next few moments to find rest. Settle in, support your body as much as it needs. Relax the physical body. All the work is done. Find rest. Take that time to do that personal inventory, scanning through the expression on the face, tension on the neck and shoulders, targeting those areas that you know are your tendencies to hold stress. Breathe easy. Now the body is beginning to just simply breathe itself. Inhale and exhale. Find maybe for the next few moments a single point of focus, and that might be
repeating your word of gratitude to yourself. That might be if you're identifying very clearly with your heartbeat at this stage in the practice, just noticing your heartbeat. Maybe it's the breath, right? The breath comes easily as a single point of focus. So you might notice where the breath is entering and leaving the nose, temperature of the breath. You might notice what the fabric feels like as it brushes on your skin, as your body's breathing. You might notice very clearly the sensations in the palms of your hands. That could be a single point of focus. Take these next few moments to just rest the mind and the body, and I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Friends, let's begin to breathe deeper once again. Let the awareness around you become more of a point of focus. Let the senses reach out for the information in your space. Begin as you're ready to move your body a little bit, maybe moving through the wrists and the ankles, the fingers and the toes. Maybe a turn of the head side to side feels good. Maybe it feels good to hug the knees in, stretch out long, anything that works for you. And then I'll ask you, if you would, to take a moment to pause either on your left or your right side in fetal position. And again, I ask you to take that moment to just say thank you to yourself, the effort that it takes to do a practice, to set aside the time during your day, to create a space to do your practice. Thank yourself for that. And when you're ready, if you would, press into the earth with the top hand. Let your inhale lift you up, and we'll come back to seated position together. And once you're seated, if you did have to open your eyes to get here, take a moment to close your eyes. Lift your heart and your face, smile. We'll take Anjali Mudra once again, letting the thumbs rest against the heart center. Maybe again, as you exhale, a gentle lowering of the chin, sign of honor and respect to yourself, to your practice, and to all that is. If you'd like to join me, I'll chant the sound of Om to close our time together. A big inhale. Om. Always, my friends, an honor and a privilege to be able to share your time and your day. Please go forth and enjoy anything that is brought to you today with great curiosity, compassion, kindness, and courage. Until I get to see you again next time, I do wish you well. Namaste.